Hey y'all! So today I wanted to film a 2 under 2 video. I've been wanting to film this for a while, but I thought I would hold off until I was closer to Audrey being 2, because I wanted to get almost the full experience to be able to give as much advice as I could. This is just obviously my experiences with it and what works for me, and it's personal, but it's a good tip. I know I used to watch YouTube videos when I was expecting, well, just expecting Audrey, my first, and then when I was expecting Zoe, I would watch anybody who had 2 kids really close in age or really young. And then I've been looking for a lot of 2 under 2, or I had been looking for a lot of 2 under 2 when I was pregnant with Zoe, and there wasn't a lot of advice. I mean, there was videos about, oh, this is like my daily vlog of 2 under 2, or this is a day in the life of 2 under 2, but like strictly sitting down, talking one with camera and telling you, hey, this is what worked for me, maybe you should give it a shot. There wasn't a lot out there at the time, and now there's starting to be more. I just looked it up to see how things had taken off since I just had her in November, so since a few months ago. She's 4 months now. I did want to give this video as much attention as I could and actually go into detail, but short detail. I want to make it as short as possible. I know a lot of you already have one, or are going to have one, or are going to have a second one, or have multiples, and I don't have time for that. So just like me, I need to make this short because my kids are with their father right now, and it's his day off, so he's supposed to be like relaxing, but he's letting me get some filming done, or I'm letting myself get some filming done. So I can already hear one of them screaming outside. Okay, so let's keep this short and sweet. If you do see me looking to the side or in front of me or whatever, it's because I'm looking at my notes. Okay, so a little background. I had Audrey. Okay, I got pregnant with Audrey like wedding night. I know TMI maybe, but wedding night. So we had her pretty much like 9 months later. So we were right out of getting married and had a little one on our hands. And then when Audrey was, let me see, 10 months old, I found out I was pregnant again with what would be our daughter, Zoe. So our second one was on the way, and I was freaking out. I was like, I mean, it wasn't that it wasn't planned, it was like one of those planned but not planned, like what were we thinking kind of things, but it were, you know, everything works out for a reason. And I was kind of freaking out just in the sense that, how am I gonna handle this? Like, how am I gonna take care of this one? And Audrey was a fussy baby. Like, I'll go do another video on that on itself, because oh my gosh, she was so fussy. Like, it was extreme with her. And that lasted, like, she didn't sleep through the night, or she didn't sleep on her own, like, in a crib until 9 months. And she didn't sleep through the night until, like, 11 months. No, maybe, like, around 10. Like, but she was getting up, like, once or twice a night still. It was just really bad. And then I was like, well, what if Zoe's the same way? Like, how am I going to handle this? I'm going to be sleep deprived. You know, like, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm with them all day. Like, I was freaking out. So then finally I like watch a lot of YouTube videos. That's what I do when I'm like, I don't know. So I did that, and then you know, my mom's just like, well, it's okay, like, people do it all the time. Like, I'm an only child, so she didn't have to do it, but I basically just winged it. And these are the things that I learned along the way. So the girls, Audrey and Zoe, Audrey's my oldest and Zoe's the baby, are 18 months apart, almost exactly to the day. Like, one more, if Zoe would have been born the next day, they would be exactly 18 months apart. Thankfully, Zoe has been a pretty easy baby so far. She has had her moments, as all babies do, but she's a pretty good baby, so we got really lucky with that. My first tip is organization is key. Like, seriously, and I know everyone, like, okay, how you organize with 2 kids and, you know, I don't know, you have to figure it out. Like whatever, like even the littlest bit of organization will help you out. Knowing where exactly stuff is in the house, like you don't want, okay, if you're like me, you don't want baby stuff like taking over your house. Like we have a 2-story house, so the toys for Audrey, like toddler toys, are upstairs in our game room, and then downstairs right now we have a pack and play in one of like in this hallway that separates the living room from our the master bedroom. So we have pack and play just in that hallway because it's just easiest to change her there instead of dragging her upstairs where her room is, where she doesn't sleep yet. And then I have little bins over the house, like all around the house. We have little bookshelves, and I have bins in them, and we keep like burp cloths or like diapers or extra wipes or just stuff that, you know, like extras, so you can just grab them. Like I know where they are. Like my husband doesn't know where they are, but he's a man, you know. So just like having little bins like that, so it's not like taking over your house, because then it's just chaos. I mean, don't get me wrong, my house is probably a disaster 75% of the time, but you know, that 25% is what keeps me sane. So yeah, definitely organization is key in that, and that can go into diaper bags. Okay, so at first I was like, I only want one diaper bag, and I want it to be like a big diaper bag so I can be able to, you know, fit everything for both kids in there, because I don't want to be lugging around too, right? Okay, so, and a lot of people do that, and that's a lot of people recommend is one diaper bag, you know. I have a Skip Hop, I can't remember what it's called. I'm going to do a whole nother video on that, but a Skip Hop something or other, and I really like it. It's pretty big. It has like a bunch of pockets. So what I was doing at the beginning was, Audrey doesn't need a lot right now. If we're just like going out to like go grocery shopping or like run errands basically, then she doesn't need a lot. Like she typically doesn't need to change at the store unless like, I don't know, like something crazy happens. She's getting towards the age where she's about to be potty trained, or like I'm going to start potty training her. So that might be an event in itself. But as of right now, at 22 months, she doesn't need a whole lot if we're just running errands. So it's really Zoe. So keep Zoe's, you know, like a bib and her formula and extra formula and water and, you know, all the baby essentials, diapers and whatever in the diaper bag. Okay, so I was keeping that all together, and that works. You know, I can just grab it and go. And another organizational tip is to stock up if you go out a lot, then every night restock that bag. Put more diapers for both kids if they're both in diapers like mine are. Restock, put wipes. You know how many times that, because like my husband's taken the wipes out for some, you know, because we were out downstairs or whatever, I have forgotten wipes and been like, are you effing kidding me? Like, and I'm not trying to blame him, but just keep it stocked at all times. Like always have wipes, always have the diapers, always like restock it every night, every week, restock it, you know. And I have one of those they're like these little containers that holds like 3 different sections of formula, so you can have that. And they're relatively small, so you can just toss it in there. So you don't have to have like multiple bottles. Keep a bottle of water on you. Or I recommend keeping one bottle if you are formula feeding. Like I have to, because with both my kids, their digestive issues weren't working with my breast milk, so that's why I'm doing that. But being like a bottle with the like however many ounces of formula they take of water, and then just keeping the extra little formula thing, so you just pour it in there, shake, and give it to them. That's an easier tip than lugging around multiple water bottles. Having extra changes of clothes, especially for the youngest, the little one, because like Zoe, like I said, she's 4 months old now, and she has poop explosions a lot, and we just went up diaper sizes, so that has stopped it a bit, but she's still like, you know, there's no predicting. Like I said, with Audrey it's a little different now, but I always do keep a spare of clothes for her. If not in the diaper bag, then it's always smart to keep it in the car, like in your trunk of your car or whatever car you're taking. Keep an extra diaper bag or a bag or something so that you have extra supplies. So always keeps wipes, diapers of their current size, diapers, like wet ones, like just for wiping. I mean, you also double that up with wipes. They work for everything. I love wipes. And an extra set of clothes. Keep that in car. Also keeping in your diaper bag, for your oldest, snacks, toys. This is where I started changing my tune about diaper bags and multiple diaper bags. It works. One diaper bag will work for, like I said, for like just running errands with the kids. We're just going one place. But if we're going to like church, or if we're gonna go to a friend's house, or you know, somewhere where we don't have our own supply of stuff, like grandma and grandpa's, we could take one bag because they have extra stuff, you know. But like to a friend's house, or like I said, to church, to the park, wherever, where it's gonna be a prolonged period of time, and they may need it, or Audrey, you know, the oldest may need entertainment, and the other one needs her own stuff too, or his own stuff. What works for me now is taking 2 bags. And I know you're gonna feel like a pack mule, and you're gonna be like, oh, why? But what I do is keep the regular diaper bag for all of Zoe's stuff, so my youngest, all of her regular stuff. So I just double pack pretty much on formula if we're going like somewhere for the day. If we're going to church, it's just the regular stuff. But what I do for Audrey, my oldest, is her being almost 2, she can sit through good portion of church, I think, for her age, but it being an hour long, she does need a little bit of distraction at times. So I do try to pack quiet toys, or like a coloring book and crayons, or like those markers that only transfer to the paper are so awesome, especially for like church or places like that, because you don't want to be that parent, you don't want to be that mom where she's like coloring on the pews or whatever, or the chairs. You don't want to be that person. So the non-transferable ones are awesome. Crayons are good too, just because they don't, I mean, if they do get it on something, it's usually really easy to get off with like a wipe or something. So what works for me is taking a second bag for Audrey, and she has this really cute Peppa Pig backpack, and it's like for a kid, so it's pretty small. It's not like a huge backpack. And I put all of her diapers, wipes, a cup of milk, an extra cup maybe full of water, and I put snacks in there for her, and so maybe a book, and then coloring stuff. Just pretty much a separate bag, and just put stuff that'll entertain them, and put stuff that you need. Maybe an extra set of clothes. It depends on how messy your toddler gets. Like Audrey, she'll spill stuff a lot on her. It's not so much the poop explosions with her anymore, it's the spilling of everything or getting stuff on her. So if we're going somewhere where we want her to look presentable for the most part, we bring an extra pair, or an extra dress, or an extra whatever the clothing may be. So in cases like that, I do recommend bringing 2 separate bags, just because that's what works for me. Also, in the organization, figure out a schedule that works for y'all. Like if your oldest or youngest or whoever wakes up at like at 8 a.m. every day, then wake up like 30 minutes prior, get some coffee. If you don't do coffee, get some tea. Whatever you do that makes you breathe and just start your day, do that. Take an extra 30 minutes, an hour preferably. Lucky that my kids tend to sleep in. I mean, Zoe not so much, she's only 4 months old. Like she gets up about once or twice a night still, and then she will be up at 6 a.m. for a feeding, but she generally goes back to sleep within a couple hours, and then I go back to sleep because I'm like, whoa, I'm not a morning person at all. So, and Audrey, she'll sleep till like 10 or 11. And I don't typically let her go past 11, just because I don't want her to go down for a nap super late and then be up all night. So figure out a schedule that works for you. I do a lot of stuff the night before, so like I'll make sure I'll make sure all the bottles are washed, and then I'll put them, and I'll make sure that all the dishes are in the dishwasher and it runs overnight. And then I'll put a cup of milk for Audrey in the fridge so I don't have to do that in the morning. And I know it takes 2 seconds, but that's 2 seconds of less time that I have to be like scrambling around. So if you're planning on going out of the house, congratulations, you are a brave mama. I do take the kids out of the house more now in the past month or two, but it was slim pickings for the first couple months when I had Zoe and Audrey. I was just freaking out about how I'm gonna take them both, you know, and I was lucky enough to have a lot of help at the beginning. So if I was gonna take them both out, I had somebody with me. And now it's more to the point where I'm on my own taking them, and I don't do it that often with both of them alone, but I do try to do it just because I'm gonna have to get used to it. But it'll be so much easier, I feel like, when Zoe can like sit in a cart. When you are leaving the house, my grandpa always says to leave in enough time to change a spare tire. It's the same with kids. Leave in enough time to be able to change their diaper. If they have a poop explosion, you want enough time so you could clean the whole mess up and put them in and not be like rushing around and scrambling. Just give yourself time, because if you don't give yourself time, you're gonna get frustrated and you're gonna be all like cuckoo mama trying to get places, and you don't want to be speeding in the car with your kids. So just like give yourself time to do stuff or to get somewhere. I guess my next bit of advice is to get the sibling relationship starting to be built. So get your oldest to help you along the way. Like, and I know they can't really do much, especially if you have 2 under 2 like me. But Audrey's really interested in like helping with the like feed her. Like she'll take her the bottle and like she generally jams it in her mouth. So we try to be careful with letting her feed Zoe. But like she tries to help and she like pretends sometimes. But like simply like asking them, hey Audrey, can you go get me Zoe's bottle? And she'll go, if it's somewhere she can reach, and she'll hand it to me and be like, here you go, or here you go Zozo, and she'll hand it to her and she can't really take it. Or getting them to throw away a dirty diaper if they know how to throw things in the trash. What we do is like, bring me a diaper, Audrey, bring me Zozo's diaper, and she'll bring that to me, which is really helpful. So that helps like build the relationship between the two, because she's being involved and she's not just like who's this other person like all of a sudden here and like taking my mama from me. Like what we do is every morning I'm like, okay Audrey, give Zoe a kiss, say good morning Zoe, or at night like give Zoe a good night kiss, say good night Zoe, and she'll be like night night Zozo, morning Zozo, I love you Zozo. Like getting them into that routine so they can form those sibling relationships. Also, I think it's really important to get individual time with both of them. So like sometimes Rob will take Audrey to the park and then I'll be here with Zoe and we'll like play and do tummy time or whatever. Or during Audrey's nap time, that's a really big time for me and Zoe, we hang out. You know, vice versa, Rob will take Zoe and I'll have Audrey and we'll go play upstairs. Sorry, the little one's needing me. Yeah, so to finish this up, you said that you need individual time with both. So now it's my individual time with Audrey. Very, very important. Accept help from other people. No, Mama! It's so important. I was really stubborn at first with both, when I just had Audrey and also when I had both of them. I wanted to do everything myself. I just felt like I was being a bad mom if I couldn't do it myself, and I couldn't, you know, and I had to ask for help. But accept it. If you are lucky enough to have family and friends in the area that want to help you, except you have to try and remember that they are kids. They don't always know right from wrong, or they don't at all. They don't know that they're doing bad. So just when you tell them no, like they're like, what? Like, you know, just remembering that they're kids. Have patience. And last but not least, remember to breathe. You are going to be fine. You're going to get through it every day. Take it day by day, diaper by diaper, tantrum by tantrum. Just breathe. You'll be fine. I survived it, and I'm pretty high strung and have bad anxiety. So if I can do it, trust me, you can do it too. So those are my tips for 2 under 2. I hope you enjoyed them. That's my advice. I take it with a grain of salt, you know. Do you, if these help you, then awesome. But if not, then leave a comment below and let me know what helps you. Take it with a grain of salt, you know. Do you, if these help you, then awesome. But if not, then leave a comment below and let me know what helps you. Okay, bye-bye. Say bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.